All right, welcome to the latest Buff Zone video, and I'm joined by Arden Walker, one of the newest Colorado Buffaloes. And Arden, first off, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, well, you're one of the newest Buffs, but there's a lot of new Buffs at this point in time. There's a
Yes, sir.
lot of I know you've been watching, but this whole transfer portal has been absolutely crazy around the country, but especially at Colorado. Let me just start there, and you being from here, your dad played at Colorado. We're going to get into that in a minute, but what are
Sure.
your thoughts on what's going on at Colorado with all these guys that are jumping in and out of the portal?
Like I said, I know you're ready in the publications, but I said it's a shift going on. Obviously, the culture is changing at University of Colorado, and I mean, obviously, I've seen it, and many other people have been attracted to this situation. So, like I said, I think it's just something special happening here.
Well, you're coming from Missouri, so you've
Hmm.
been playing some big time football the last couple of years, and so you're not new to Power Five football. So I know it's going to be exciting for you. As mentioned, your dad grew up in or played at Colorado as well, so you grew up around this program a little bit. And how excited are you to join the Buffs and following your father's footsteps?
I'm very excited. I feel like it's an honor as well. I think I'm basically like renewing the pipeline and like the bloodline, especially like the former players and then just people in Colorado. So, like I said, I'm just very blessed to be in the situation. I'm so happy and excited to come home as well and play in front of my friends and family. So,
Yeah, you went to Cherry Creek High School, and
yes, sir.
as we know, as a lot of Buff fans know, Cherry Creek coached by Dave Logan, who's one of the great Buffs. Your
Go.
father played defensive tackle for the Buffs. In the late '80s, he was actually part of that 1989 team that was undefeated going into the Orange Bowl. So, how much pressure did you have to become a Buff as you're going through high school?
Honestly, like I'll say, my dad, he really didn't put a lot of pressure on me. Just like in my recruiting process, he kind of wanted me to figure it out on my own. He didn't want to force me anyway or sway me anyway, and he just let me go through the process, just like from a like unbiased standpoint, I'll say. And I mean, of course, when I needed help or I needed advice, he just tell me like what to do or like how you attack the situation. But I mean, other than that, like he just kind of wanted to let me feel things for myself and figure out what was best for me. So.
Yeah, I know Coach Logan. He wants to see his players just go succeed wherever,
Mhm.
but Missouri is an SEC school now, but they were a big rival of Colorado
Right.
when Coach Logan
Big
was there,
eight.
when your dad was there in the Big Eight. So was there any initial reaction from them like, oh come on, you're going to one of our rivals?
No, not really. Like I said, I think my recruiting process was kind of like I wouldn't say mysterious, but I really didn't share a lot what was going on, like how I
Mhm.
felt about situations and places. But I think they're just kind of more excited to see where I was gonna go and real like anxious about it, especially when I got towards like December, like late December 2020. So and especially at the time, like I said, it was COVID and stuff too. So um kind of had to make a decision off of like a blindfold decision, really. That's what it was.
Yeah. So you did spend 2 years there.
Mhm.
Played all 12 games last year, and I think 4 games that first year. Still got to redshirt. What was the experience like for you at Missouri?
Um, I'll say just uh from a football standpoint, it was more like learning the speed of the game just in college and then understanding just like the value of football. Like I think SEC is a place where they really embrace the football culture. And obviously, like I said, it's week in, week out. You're going at people that are potentially draft picks and you're going against arguably one of the highest levels of football. So I think just make sure I was on top of my game at all times. And when I got my opportunities from freshman year to my red shirt freshman year as well, like so it was just more of a learning curve, I'll say.
Yeah. How much better of a player are you now than when you left high school?
Way better. I mean, I think even too, just I think people are so curious about like my playing abilities and my skills and stuff, and I feel like, of course, I'm going to show it like when it's due time. But I think I spent these last 2 years just developing myself in ways I know I could. So, and I just have to like now I'm moving into that role that I'll be ready this upcoming fall. So,
Yeah, I know you probably haven't played as much as you want. You haven't racked up the tackles that you want, but
right,
that happens a lot, right? I mean, with a lot of young players, generally those first 2 years, there's not a ton of playing time. Colorado's
right.
got a lot of those guys. Just in general, can you talk about the difficulty of just adjusting from high school to college football?
And I'll say that too. I mean, even from like my position alone, like I say just like same playing interior or like the on the line, it's definitely more of a transition than it is. I'll say like skill position or like big skill. Like I'm saying, you have to get your body strength, just like speed the game once again, and then just like I said, IQ. That's all that stuff that it all goes into one. And I'll say like I I used those 2 years to really understand what was really going on and ways I can outthink and then play. Man, like I said, just strengthen my IQ, my football IQ, and I think that was the biggest thing for me. And it's only took my game to the next level. And I was like, I wish I could show like on my spring tape from this past season. I mean, like this past spring ball, because like I felt I really took the time to understand the game and just really study my tape and like even my practice opponents and teammates. Like I'll just make sure I was going at them in the smallest minute details I could. So it gave me
Yeah.
the advantage at the end of the day. And like I said, obviously moving to me into this position coming up this upcoming fall. So
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, you're an edge defender and you're coming in as probably
right,
an 18-year-old, freshman, and you're having to go against probably 22, 21, maybe even 23-year-old,
25,
right? Offensive linemen. So,
25, right,
grown men, right? And so,
exactly,
I mean, how tough is that? When you're 18 years old and you're really just learning how to lift weights and
right.
feel your body out as you're growing up.
And like, I mean, like my program at Creek, of course, like we had a oil program just from weights and football in general. But like, of course, there's still more you can get into like on a consistent basis. Like, um, I think moving into like just getting on a weight program and being a consistent weight program and like just speed work and all things like that. Just strictly working on football because I mean, obviously, I also played multiple sports in high school, so I wouldn't say I would necessarily not always focus on football, but like I think I could have spent a little bit more time on it, and I think now I had the opportunity to just really focus on the game, and it's been year round, so I had nothing but time to get better. So, like I said, it's still a process, and then once again, I was gonna go back on like just playing edge rush, like for me, for example, like I play DN and outside linebacker. So like knowing certain like drops and then just take certain techniques, like I have to know all that stuff. And it, like I said, that position is not easy. I mean, obviously that's why that's one of the highest paid positions in the league. That's like it's so many like responsibilities that we have, and it's like being an 18-year-old. That's still a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and there's many. It's like a minute few that's able to really like take it the game to the next level at freshman year and get those 3 years in. Like maybe who like Will Anderson this past year, like I mean, I don't even see his tape before, but it's like almost perfect. So
Yeah.
it's like it's really like a small amount of guys that really able just to get on freshman year and just go like maybe 3 years out or whatever it is. Like just really hit that road and run on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so you mentioned your spring and that you felt like you had a good spring with Missouri. So do
Yes,
you
sir.
feel like the Arden Walker that Colorado's going to get is kind of you coming into your prime a little bit?
For sure. I for sure. Like I'm at a point where it's like I wouldn't say I'm like upperclassman, but like I'm in the middle and I've been have a little bit of experience in my belt, but now it's like I'm moving to that role. And it's like, okay, maybe I can establish myself this upcoming year. Not even
Yeah.
maybe I would.
So I no pun intended when I said coming into your prime. Obviously, you're playing for
Right.
Coach Prime now, but
Yeah.
when I talked to last time I talked to Coach Logan was actually uh, right after the state championship game when they beat Valor, and there was that night that Coach Prime, was the rumors were coming out that's it's happening, and he was
Mhm.
super excited. How excited are you to be a part of this? And that night when all that happened, how much did that kind of change things in your perception of Colorado?
Um, I honestly like when I heard the news, it was kind of just like a shocker to me, especially just taking a chance on a program like the history and like of course I know the history and how the place has been and just like these recent couple of years and stuff like that. Like I think it's kind of good that it's moving to a new light. It's like a little fresh start, like a new slate. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like I said, when I heard about the news, I was really shocked, honestly. Like, it's kind of a surprise, especially coming out to Colorado as well. And like, he could have went to Florida State, like his alma mater, And of course, I heard about that too. But
Yeah, and you're one of the few guys that's transferring here that was actually recruited by Colorado out of high school. I mean, a lot of these guys didn't really have Colorado on the radar, but
right.
you are an in-state guy. Obviously, Colorado wanted you. I don't know how close you looked at Colorado at the time, but what's your perception as you looked at the program then versus now?
Honestly, it was still like the same. Like I consider of course, my top four was Texas, Missouri, UCLA, and Colorado. But I mean, like I said, I just kept everything close knit. I was just trying to figure out what was really best for me at the time. Like I didn't like it really wasn't an easy decision. Like I really decided I wanted to stay home as well because I thought about all the opportunities and of course you have like NIL and stuff like that nowadays. It's like magically popped up on the scene, but like just having a little bit of pull at home, like it doesn't matter. I think just from like just your image and brand as well. I think that's a big thing. But just from a football standpoint, I think as well. I kind of know what it takes and just how things maneuver at that university as well. So I think now going into like this upcoming year and just being coming back home, like I know what to expect, and I can actually help the guys that are coming in and show them around because like I've been in Colorado. I've been going up there since like I was pretty much a baby. So
Yeah.
I mean I know it like the back of my hand as well. But it's just like now I'm taking a chance on myself at home, which it feels good.
So is that a new Colorado hat, or is that one that you've had since growing
You
up?
know what? This is my dad's hat from I was in our basement just looking around. I did that I think like when I came home like my first winter break,
Yeah,
but it's a vintage hat. But it actually says "see you later" on the back. That's funny, but
that's awesome.
kind of petty, not bad. But
Vintage Colorado hat.
yeah, I love vintage. Yes, I love
Yeah.
all my vintage clothes.
So, how excited were your parents that you've decided to come home? And I'm sure they're proud of you, regardless. But the fact that you're going to come home, they get to see you play here at Colorado. How excited is everybody?
I think they're pretty excited. My mom and dad, like it was same situation, just the recruiting process. They were like, they wanted me to feel like I was doing the best for my situation, and they just let me just ride really. So they're just behind me all the way, and like I said, they're happy at the end of the day. I made a good decision. So
Yeah. With this program, there's a ton of attention on it right now. I'm sure you saw the spring game, or at least clips of it, and 47,000 people there. Would you take a visit that day?
um, I was actually I was watching on TV. I seen the
Okay.
game, yeah, but I took it this past weekend actually. So
Okay.
yeah,
All
my
right.
mhm.
I wasn't sure when you took your visit, but
Oh yeah,
watching all that,
I was
uh,
on this past.
you know what spring games have been like around here. There's like nobody that goes there. So to
Mhm.
see that, to see all this attention that Colorado's getting, how excited are you to join what is really kind of a fascinating experiment to see, if Coach Prime can put together basically a whole new team in one off season.
I mean, it feels good. I think just from a team aspect, like we're gonna have to just mesh really quickly and figure things out. Like just focus on the field, really, because I mean, at the end of the day, like there's gonna be fans, people gonna say things, and like I said, all eyes gonna be on us. Obviously, it's just because what happened is off season. So I just feel like our main focus has to be on the field, which I think will be okay if we do that.
I believe you're going to be coached by Nick Williams, right?
Hmm.
So young guy, one of the younger coaches on the team, but he's got some good experience. Georgia, Texas
Yeah,
A&M.
for
What's
sure.
your impressions of working with him a little bit so far?
Just meeting him and his energy and things like that. Like I think that's something that definitely stood out to me. Like, um, I think he really wants to coach me, which I really appreciate, and I really just can't wait to get to work. Honestly, so it's really, like I said, it's really good. I met him, and he's just kind of said and broke my tape down and figured things out, like how he sees me, what I'm doing in the scheme and everything. So
Yeah, from what I know of him, I don't know him very well, but from what I know of him, he loves breaking down tape.
yes, and
Have
like
you?
I said it's nice because like a person like me as well, I love football. Like that's a passion of mine. So just like being able to understand and understand the game and from all angles and aspects and what people do, like tendencies, things like that. Like I'm a student of the game for sure. And I mean, just to have that with the coach as well, like I feel like it goes hand in hand. So
Yeah.
mhm.
There's a ton of edge guys that are coming in as transfers, even some guys
Right.
from the SEC. Jordan Dominic had a great year at Arkansas. I don't know if you know many of those guys or any of them, but are you excited for the competition?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Regardless, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like you're treating it like a pro setting. So like,
Mhm.
got to walk in there and hold your own, really.
Yeah. What do you feel like you bring to the table? Tell people about your game a little bit.
I definitely a pass rusher for sure. I know I can play the run, and like I said, you're just getting an all around player right now. So I think I'm stepping into that role, and I think I spent these last 2 years developing myself into that player.
Yeah. So you've grown up around this program. You know about Ralphie. Are you excited to finally run behind Ralphie?
I didn't even think about that. For sure, yeah. I did like that's something. Well, I didn't even I didn't put that two to two together at all, but for sure.
Didn't even realize you'd be doing that, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's insane. They're
Yeah.
on the what 13th buff now.
No, this is
Or
she's
eighth,
the
eighth,
sixth one.
sixth? Ooh.
Sixth, yeah.
I was like, what was I thinking of? Yeah, but okay. I was like, I knew it was up there.
Yeah, it's a new one though. It's only I think this will
Yeah, it's a
be her,
baby because they just retired. It was getting too fast, right?
yeah, this might be year 3 for her, but she's getting
Mhm.
bigger. But
Sheesh.
your dad probably ran behind like Ralphie 3 or 2 or something like that.
Mhm.
So, it's been a while.
Right.
So you mentioned student of the game. You've also been all SEC honor roll. So
Yes,
you're
sir.
taking care of business.
Oh, I'm about my books now. Yes, yes, sir. No, I'm
Yeah,
that comes first in my house. Like, background on me. Like, my mom's an educator. She actually teaches in Denver public schools right now. She's a dean of students, but she's been in the game, like teaching game for 20 plus years now. So I mean, that's one thing in my house that's major. Like, I'm about my degree. Like, that comes first. Like, I just gonna make sure I get as well as I'm in college. I'm about to finish it out. So I'm on track at least.
yeah. In fact, we when we're doing this, you said I have to do a final first, and then we'll
Mm.
do this. So how'd you do in the final?
Oh, I did good.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes, sir.
is your major?
I'm about to move into sport law when I get to Colorado. I'm either doing that or business management. But right now, I'm doing business management out here as well. So,
Okay. So you
yes,
excited about the academic aspect of Colorado?
oh, for sure. And I mean, I know just from just being in Colorado school systems, like I know what it brings as well. So that's a good thing too. So, I mean, of course, it's not. I don't think it would be like too strenuous or anything, but of course, I'm gonna put my foot down and work a little bit. So,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, one thing about this program now is there's always been a bunch of Colorado guys, but there's not now,
mhm.
and this team is loaded with a lot of newcomers, a lot of guys from Florida, things like that.
Right.
And Cherry Creek has always had a high presence at CU, but not as much now. Now that there's you and Hank Zelinskas, but that's
Hmm.
about it. And so, are you excited to, at least be one of the few Colorado guys and show that, hey, we can play
For
football
sure.
in Colorado?
Yeah, and I mean, even with Hank, like he was like my little brother in high school because me and his older brother are really good friends as well. Big Gus, he's at Rutgers right now. But I mean, I feel like it's an honor once again. Like one of the only Colorado guys on the team, especially like they expect like my obviously if they're trying to bring in a lot of guys that are like high talent and just from these different places and stuff. So like I said, yeah, being able to represent my state and my home, like I think it's gonna go a long way. So
Awesome. Well, Arden, I know CU fans are excited to see you. They wanted you to be a Buff 2 years ago, but I know they're
I know.
excited that
Oh,
you're.
sorry.
Hey, I know they're excited you're finally a Buff, and I'm sure you're excited. When do you arrive this summer?
I actually get in town on May 16th, so that's what next Tuesday.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
next Tuesday.
that's
Yes,
less than a
sir.
week as we do this, so it's quick. So you
Yes,
excited
sir.
to get here and just get ready?
Yes, sir. I'm straight to work. I'm just make sure I'm my high horse and come home and get myself acclimated and stuff. Like, so I'm packing up right now. I'm in my apartment in Columbia still, but like I said, just finished up with school and everything. So it's like I said, quick turnaround.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you. Look forward to meeting you in person when you
Yes,
actually
sir.
get here, and we'll see how this thing goes. It'll be fun.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Mr. Howell. Thank you.